My bad. Welcome in, guys. That was a bad way to introduce Britt to the live stream. Hey, you're just going to dive in tonight, right? Welcome to Nearing Nerdvana. As you can see, we have a couple new faces.
It says scheduled in the corner.
No, I have live.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oops, mine says scheduled. Oh, I was really hoping that okay, sorry. Go ahead.
You were saying? No. Yeah. Anyway, guys, new faces to the crew tonight. We have Britt, who is usually behind the scenes. She is our graphic designer. Honest to God, we couldn't do the show without her. And she's really into Game of Thrones, so she's gracing us with her presence tonight. Britt, thanks for being here.
No problem.
It's gonna
Finally, it took 2 years.
Yeah, but this will be so much easier with you here because you're the architect behind the slides and you can kind of elaborate on the points that we miss, and you probably scream at us during the shows all the time. That's not what that was supposed to be.
Only Jennifer. Only Jen.
Oh, okay. that makes me feel better. We got Ninth Wonder in the house. If you guys are not following his channel already, you're missing out. Ninth, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing tonight?
Can't complain. It's a good Friday show. It's gonna be fun. I'm glad to have you here. You're filling in for Lucy, who's not feeling well, and Joe, who's had a family thing. Sarah, thank you for being here tonight. You, again, are just full of knowledge, so I was very excited when you agreed to be on.
Yay! I'm glad I'm here because Britt is on, so yay!
This is a
no
night.
pressure, you guys.
No pressure. Let's see. Audie, welcome on in. Good to see you. You were first. There's Lucy. She's taking care of some sick babies. Namesh. Thank goodness it's Friday and Namesh is here. Thank you so much, Namesh. We appreciate and love you. Oh, let's see. Paul Holloway is in the house. We got Karen. Ninth Wonder saying hi to everybody. Lord of Brooklyn's here. We got H&H Comics. We got Glenn Howard. Lucy's baby is sick, guys. So before we get going, shout out to our sponsors over at Cover Price. They sponsor the channel. So make sure that you are using code Nerdvana for 1 month of their unlimited membership for 99 cents. And shout out to Bird City Comics. They are sponsored retailers, and they're always giving us giveaways. And hopefully Anthony will be watching tonight, and he'll be able to dig up something Games of Thrones-y. We'll see.
Ooh.
All right, so tonight we are talking about Game of Thrones. House of the Dragon just launched a few weeks back, so this is all coming back to the surface. Awesome series, but it can be a little, what would you say, Ninth? Intimidating?
Yes, definitely intimidating just because of the structure of Game of Thrones itself, from being books, and then the TV show is 8 seasons, and now we have the House of Dragons stacked on top of that, and the Jon Snow spinoff. It keeps getting deeper and deeper, so that can be a lot for anybody to undertake.
Well, we're going to try. That's what we're going to attempt to do tonight. For the next hour or so, we're going to deep dive into Westeros and beyond. So yeah, if you haven't watched the series, hopefully we'll sell you. And if you have, maybe you'll learn something you didn't know, because I sure as hell did. Going through this stuff, I'm like, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize this. All right, let's get kicked off. We'll start here. So Game of Thrones, like what Ninth was just saying. So the first season of the fantasy drama series premiered in 2011. And interestingly enough, even though the first 4 seasons were by far the strongest, for all 8 seasons, the viewership consistently grew and grew and grew, which is pretty amazing. You don't usually see that. You kind of see a stagnation with most of these shows. So yeah, I read the books. I watched all the series, absolutely adored Game of Thrones. Britt, what about you?
So I started Game of Thrones just after the first season. And it was kind of like my thing that I did with my mom every Sunday night. It was our one time to just be alone and enjoy a show that was not child friendly.
Yeah.
So super nostalgic, 8 years.
Yeah, it was like an event. Jen, did you watch them?
Not until so for years people were like, oh, you need to watch this thing. This is totally in your, you love castles and knights and lore, and I'm like, nah. And people keep trying to push you into something, and you're like, no, I'm okay. There's so many other things. And then before the last season, she was like, no, you have to watch it. And then we just spent that time just binging it. And then you weren't upset, but you were like, you had to wait a couple years between each season, and I just had to binge all of it.
That was probably the better way of going, but to be honest. Ninth, what about you? Have you watched? I'm assuming you're a huge fan. You've watched it all, right?
Yeah, I watched all the seasons. And then of course watched House of Dragons. I think it's the night it premiered, watched House of Dragons. So I've been through the ringer with this show.
What were you saying before we went live that you worked for somebody that gave you
Oh
merch?
yeah. So I used to I left AT&T last year, but we own DirecTV and a bunch of other companies, and so they also own HBO. So when Game of Thrones is like at its height, they were owning the company, so they would give us like merch and stuff like that, to just for whatever. I really never understood the purpose of that, but like in our office we had like a Iron Throne in there, like all types of different things. So like all types of obscure merch, candles, like anything you can think of.
Candles. What
Um
were the scents?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember. But
I guess
like,
no would be
yeah,
one.
it was so all types of merch, stuff that they didn't release to the public. So that was pretty cool, to be working there then when Game of Thrones was such a big thing.
Yeah, very cool. Sarah, what about you?
I started watching the show like day one, so that's how I got into it. And then, crazy enough, is we tried to watch House of Dragon like on the official like date, but because the site crashed, I had to watch it like the next day. So,
The
but
site
yeah,
crashed.
it
I
crashed.
didn't know that. Damn,
Yeah.
everybody's like trying to get there at the same time. That's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, um I'm not a big like fantasy person. Like Lord of the Rings is not really like one of my like top tier movies. I know. I actually started watching the TV show today and I fell asleep.
It was a little bit like you really have to know who they're talking about
Right.
if for the new Lord of the Rings show. But go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how I've kind of delved into this world is through the TV shows. And kind of like with Brit too, it's was a Sunday night thing, every Sunday night, like my husband and my brother-in-law lived with us. We all three of us, Sunday night was Game of Thrones and Walking Dead. So yeah.
Very cool. Well, okay, guys, if you are just joining, we're at a little over 20 right now. We are talking Game of Thrones. We're going to be covering a bunch of like the history of Westeros and talking a little bit about some merch and all that fun stuff. Make sure you share the show out, give it a thumbs up, and buckle in because we have such a good show. We know that House of the Dragon came out on August, what was it? 21st. So a couple weeks back, and that is the prequel. Britt, explain to me, when exactly does the House of the Dragon take place, and would you recommend watching that before or after the Game of Thrones series?
I would say watch it after Game of Thrones, strictly for the amount of Easter eggs that people are pointing out. So I think if you could probably do it either way, but you're going to have more of an appreciation for the subtleties if you watch Game of Thrones first, in my opinion. But this takes place during the historical period known as the Dance of the Dragons, I think,
Yeah.
because I'm a nerd.
Like what, 200 years before Game of Thrones?
200 and was it 170?
172 years before.
Nerds.
Because I love that.
Round up and say
epilogue.
200.
I love that epilogue. If you guys didn't catch that epilogue for House of Dragon, like right before it was like, I think it was like the whole like, just like a reminder, you're not gonna see Daenerys in this.
Yeah,
They
because it's like
highlighted it at the end.
172.
I think that was brilliant.
It's 172 years before the birth of Daenerys. So Daenerys is probably what, like in 18, 19, definitely her early 20s by the time Game of Thrones, the TV show started. So yeah, that's pretty much close to 200 years, if not right at, yeah. So probably close, a little bit under 200 years before Game of Thrones, which is heavy. That's a lot to take in if you think about it, right? That alone can be intimidating for somebody to get into the TV show, like even just watching this, because you're like, dang, what about all that history in between there,
There's a lot of room to grow, though, right? Like they could really build on this show and take it so many different directions, which is why we include the Jon Snow spinoff, which is also in the works. And Kit Harington is expected to reprise his role, and that one will be taking place after the events of Game of Thrones, correct?
Mhm.
Ooh, I'm getting excited. Are you guys getting more and more excited? I'm so excited to talk about this shit. Let's go. All right. So first up, the next few slides. Britt, again, is a genius and thought it would be really prudent for us to kind of give you an idea of what these places are, where they kind of originated, and all that jazz. So Winterfell, that's the ancestral castle and the seat of House Stark, and it's considered to be the capital of the North, which they ran themselves for thousands of years. They had their own king, right? Until the last 300 years when everything kind of shifted. So we'll talk about Winterfell first. Britt/Jen, you're up.
You love the Starks. You go.
I do love the Starks.
I figured you would be a House Stark person.
Yeah, but okay. I don't want to get sidetracked. So, did you guys watch Lord? Did you watch that one video I sent you or no?
I did. I watched one where you had it. Like there was this. Well, there's a couple when they're interviewing George R.R. Martin, and the interviewer was super annoying.
Oh, sorry.
She kept interrupting him, like when he was trying to talk. I was like, I don't want to hear you. I want to hear him. Right? Yeah.
So the beauty of House Stark is that they are very honorable and strong and true, right? And a big part of Game of Thrones is your actions have consequence, even if it is an honorable action.
Okay, yeah,
it's gonna have a consequence. But they're awesome. Sorry.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about Game of Thrones is like it's like no good deed goes unpunished, right? So you could do the right thing and still end up, screwing yourself over. And a lot of TV shows don't have that type of consequence, for their storytelling. And that's one thing I always liked about Game of Thrones.
Oh, Starks. So are they? They're technically the wildling. What is it? North of the wall?
Yeah, they have like the northern blood, or I forget the exact term that they use, but
like they're from like.
Makes sense that some of the wildlings' blood was in the northern blood. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that when they find out that Jon Snow is a Stark, that like gives a little bit of respect. You're like, oh shoot, a Stark. Like they know who they are.
Kind of like an Arroyo. You're like, oh, you're an Arroyo. Damn. Okay. Right.
Which, yeah, and I kind of wonder if that's going to take like when we see Jon Snow later, if that's going to like if he's going to be the new who's the guy who's.
Well, do you think he's going to identify as a Stark still, or do you think he identifies? Well, I guess we can get to that more later as to which house he's really. Oh man, I cannot wait to hear.
He's still a Stark.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, technically,
not by blood, but not by blood.
Yeah, by blood.
By blood, that's his uncle.
His mom.
Right. Oh,
his mom.
I mean, he's a Stark and he's a Targaryen, right?
Yeah. So spoilers.
I mean, which is like one of the most infuriating things about this series is that amazing plot twist really didn't pay off in any way whatsoever. But we'll get to that point. Sarah, you have anything to add on Winterfell?
I just, Winterfell just has like so much, it's just you have King's Landing and you have Winterfell, and it's just Winterfell just seems like this powerful place between the two. It always seemed like there was most of the action was in Winterfell, the important action. Snow. I just love that place because it reminds me of like the little girl, I can't remember her name, and the whole like speech she gave about like, Jon, Jon Snow is like the king of the North. I just, it's just.
What is that little girl? The badass one, right?
Arya? Something.
No, not Arya. She's one of the houses of the North. Like one of the.
You talking about?
Remember, she's like a badass little warrior.
Badass little girl. Yes, I can't remember her name, but like
the bear, the little bear. Was it the bear?
Lady Mormont. Thank you, Paul.
Yes.
Lady Mormont. Where Lady Mormont. All these like iconic scenes, like the Lady Mormont giving the awesome speech. Lord Baelish gets his comeuppance at Winterfell. So just all these iconic moments happen in the, I mean, like I said, compared to King's Landing, you know, King's Landing is huge, and you know, it has, you know, the Iron Throne, but like just seems like Winterfell is kind of like the heart of Westeros to me.
Agree, but King's Landing's pretty kick-ass too. I mean, that's
Oh,
where the
that's
Iron
true.
Throne is. That's where everybody. So, guys, again, if you're just joining, we're talking about the basic geography of Westeros. Winterfell is the north. It's where you have the Starks. King's Landing is the capital of Westeros, and that's where everybody's kind of fighting to get to that throne because they want that seat of power. Britt, what do you have to add?
So I always
Yeah.
looked at it like Winterfell is like the furthest place north from King's Landing, if my understanding on that is on the geography on it is correct. And obviously to live in those cold climates, you got to be a tough person, right? So I always looked at that. I'm a House Stark guy, right? So
Another Stark here. We got two
yeah,
Starks.
so
Yeah.
I always looked at it like that's where, you know, look, if you can make it in Winterfell, you can make it anywhere. That's always been the way I looked at it.
Another Stark, Britt. I guess you'll probably be able to guess what the rest of us are. What,
Me
Britt?
personally, guessing what the rest of you are?
What do you think I would be? What house?
Oh, for me?
No, for me.
Oh, for you, Lannister.
Damn it! I knew you were gonna say it too.
That's what I was gonna say too.
Fine, I'll be a Lannister. It's all right. I like the Lannisters.
You got the long lion hair going on, rocking
I
the
am a
blonde thing.
Leo. What's yours though? If you had to pick,
It's a good question.
I thought you said you like.
Probably the Tyrells.
I was gonna say Tyrell for you too, because I mean they're so like okay. Anyway, so King's Landing is what we're talking about now, guys. Do you have anything to add, Sarah, Jen, Britt? To
Wait,
King's
what's
Landing?
Sarah's?
Yeah,
house?
what's Sarah's house?
Oh,
House Tyrell, because I mean, we'll talk about it later, but there's a certain person that I totally love, and so I think I
Me
definitely
too.
be House Tyrell.
all right. Casterly Rock. What do we know about Casterly Rock? We know that it's so House Lannister. That's the ancestral hold. That's like their home base, so to speak. And what else happened there? I'm trying to think. There were some episodes with Casterly Rock being involved.
So Casterly Rock, I know, is supposed to be like the highest elevation in all of Westeros. Like its actual geographic position, and in the descriptions of it in the books, it seems like it's a lot steeper of a cliff than that.
That doesn't look that high, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could cliff dive off that and be fine. Yeah, maybe. All right, and then the Eyrie. So this is the ancient castle and seat of the House Arryn, and this one, since it is freaking high, is seen to be impregnable, right? Yes, Laura. That's
Yep,
right.
yep.
Unless you got a dragon.
I forgot the Eyrie. Remind me.
You what?
Remind me of the Eyrie. I
Oh,
forgot
that's-
that one.
That's the one where Tyrion gets put in that weird cell where there's no like it's just like a straight cliff, and then they fight, and then it's a straight drop, and that little creepy kid who's still breastfeeding when he shouldn't have been.
So is that the one with the moon door where like
Yeah.
all right, that's what I thought. Yeah, and like what's up with that? Like that lady, like wasn't he like 12 and he was still getting like breastfed?
Yeah, which is like, I mean, I guess technically.
That's
I
an
mean,
option, I guess.
Ninth, what do you think of this?
I don't remember them. I don't remember this castle.
No, this comment.
Oh, hold on.
You
let
know me
see.
pretty well. Am I Cersei?
No,
I feel like that's an insult.
no. I don't.
I'm
think so.
nicer, maybe.
Yeah, Cersei. She was a you know what. I don't think you got quite that. I don't think you got quite that switch.
I only have that switch if you come after my family. You come after my husband, or you come after my kids, and I'll go Cersei on your ass in a
That
heartbeat.
is total.
But see, Cersei was trying to protect her.
I
family.
know that is totally Cersei. I will. Yeah. Okay. Maybe H&H is right. Oh, whatever.
Oh yes, Paul did a good job.
The Eyrie is the seat of House Arryn, located in the Vale north of King's Landing. Jon Arryn was handed the king to... Oh, yeah, I forgot to bring that part up. So Jon Arryn was handed the king to Robert Baratheon, which is why when he was killed, which we'll find out later why he was killed, that's why Robert had to go and find somebody. And this is an interesting point to stop. So the Hand of the King, we're talking about somebody that's like essentially your ride or die, right? This is your chief advisor. This is the person that you allow to speak for you. I don't understand why he would have picked Ned. Like, why didn't he pick
Because he trusts
Tywin?
him.
Yeah.
I know, but Ned had handicaps in the sense that he wasn't capable to handle King's Landing politics. He wasn't able to handle and play ruthless when he needed to be. So, like, you would think if you were Robert, I would have chose Tywin. He was already
He picked Robert, or he picked Ned because he wasn't good at the game, though, and he needed somebody who had that unquestionable honor to really root out who was untrustworthy in King's Landing, which is evidently all of them.
right.
But,
Well, not Varys.
Like from my memory, like none of the kings ever chose good hands.
Well, look at this one. Look at Otto, in House of Dragon. He's no good. He's trying to get his,
Exactly.
his daughter married to.
Daenerys chose Tywin or Tyrion. I think that's a fantastic hand. I would take Tyrion in a heartbeat.
He would have been, but then they wrote him to not be like all the stuff that he had her do ended up in failure.
I
Yeah.
know.
And then, but see, then when she chose him to be her hand, he was off his game anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, that was one of her bad because she made bad decisions. That was one of her bad decisions right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that if Ned was, somebody was saying Ned, Metalface was saying Ned was his best friend, I wouldn't make Jen be my hand because I know she would hate that. You know what I mean?
Wait, you know what?
You would hate that.
Yeah,
but so did Ned.
Yeah, he
hated
didn't
it.
want to be there either.
Yeah, but then if you were like, hey, Laura, my asshole son started shit and now I have to kill your kid's dog, I'd be like, no, right? Like there was no loyalty back to Ned.
So, that was one of Robert's foil. Like he was more of like, I want to fight you and I will defeat you. But when it was like the words, he was like, no, I don't want to deal with this. Like, yeah, just kill one. Like he sided with Cersei for that point of, I don't want to deal with this. This is like kind of no.
Yeah. All right. Ninth, you're my hand.
Man,
Don't let anybody mess with me.
I'm too sinister to be somebody's hand. We'll be at war quick.
We're all fighting. Tyrion liked to crush a lot too. Oh my gosh. Anthony only saw bits and pieces of the series, so he's being biased. All right, let's keep moving.
No, you gotta. Tyrion was the man in this show. Like he had, he played around. He liked his women.
Yeah, but he also, I feel bad for him.
Why?
I mean, if we being fair, everybody in Game of Thrones like their women.
Right?
Even the women like their women.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
See, guys, if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, there's your seller. A little soft porn goes a long way. Next up. All right. Thanks, Sarah. Highgarden, House Tyrell. So Sarah and Britt would be chilling in Highgarden with all their roses and beautiful landscaping and blah, blah, blah. But so the Highgarden was a seat of House Tyrell and is the regional capital of the Reach. Yeah, I read that right. The Tyrells, I feel like the entire series, the Tyrells are just trying to figure out where they're going to fit in. They're like, okay, I'm going to marry this guy. Oh, wait, he fell through. I'm going to marry this guy. Okay, that fell through. Like, they're just constantly playing this game, which is part of the allure to Game of Thrones. Like, you're just trying to think one chess piece ahead of your people around you. But what do you guys think?
I never really liked the House Tyrell and House Lannister because the only reason they had power is because they had money.
Money is power.
I mean, yeah, but it's like once you put all of that aside, they really ain't got nothing. Like a Stark, look, got them hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, Starks, even Targaryens to a certain extent, you can say, okay, they can command the dragon. But Tyrells, Lannisters, it's just all about the money for them. Like they like the 1% in Game of Thrones.
The Tyrells I felt like they had a lot of farmland because when King's Landing needed all that food, they had like the resources, right? Like they actually could bring food and like they could save people in that regard. And like,
yeah, because they had the money. They bought all the land.
So money's power, ipso facto. I mean, let's look at the comic book community. Who's doing well in the comic book community? People with money.
Yeah, people with the money. But at the same time, I like, as far as like the writing goes, I like it because it sets an actual social structure. You know, not every house is strong because of brute force. You know, you have some houses that are strong because of, you know, their political reach and their monetary reach, which is a great way to structure everything out. Because if you just had a bunch of houses that were all savages fighting with each other, then things would get really old really quick. Not too much that you can write around with that, you know.
All right, but I'll argue that the Lannisters do have an asset. They're clever. Their intelligence and their ability to play the game is an asset, just as, in my opinion, dangerous as a fucking dragon.
I think without the Tyrells and the Lannisters, the political intrigue of the show would be a lot different. Like, they are definitely a big part of that. And it kind of keeps the game going, even when they're, you know, pulling the strings and not really on screen.
Exactly. So they're almost like their power is the ones that they're the behind the scene players that are, yeah, I can see that too. Sarah, what do you think?
I think, you know, like, you know, you talk about the money of, you know, the Tyrells and the Lannisters, you know, going back to the Starks had loyalty, you know, and it kind of shows you like, you know, yeah, you know, both these families had money, but money doesn't give you loyalty.
But the Tyrells were really nice. And like, what was her name?
They were still working their way to the, you know, she was trying to get Marjorie to be queen.
Yeah, but Marjorie, how she was naturally, it could have been just part of the game. But when she went into the city and like went to the orphanage and talked to those people, like having loyalty and being kind to your subjects makes loyal subjects. Like being nice to them and giving them food and like not.
But was that genuine or was that right. Manipulation?
I mean, to me, like Marjorie was always playing, you know. I mean, I know that she did. I get it that she does have a good heart, but you know, it could have all been like, I think it was all planned to be like, I'm helping out. Look at me. Look at how, you know, wonderful of a queen I am. I mean, look at her. You could also say that about like what our current monarchy are. You know, you see, you know, like the prince. You know, was it Prince Harry? You know,
are you talking Meghan Markle right now? Are we getting into Meghan Markle territory?
I'm trying to think, what is the other prince's name? There's Prince Harry and Prince
William.
You know, you see these, you know, all, you know, they may have I'm sure they do have genuine agendas, but it is all like, look at us, look at what we're doing, look at, you know, it's all publicity. So kind of
political.
Exactly. So to me, like, yeah, you know, I do think that Marjorie had good intentions, but I think it was also a ploy of, you know, make me your queen.
Look at this, Sarah. Marjorie was trying to kill with kindness, hiding behind the good deeds. She was devious, though.
Right. I mean, because she could have said to her, you know, her grandma, like, you know, no, absolutely not. I'm not doing this. Like,
but as a female back then, she didn't really have much choice.
That's how the 1% do you, man. You
right?
know, look, what's that saying go? A gift normally, what did it say? Your death in the form of a favor. You know.
Listen.
Absolutely.
Wait, real quick, Lord of Brooklyn.
I'm Cersei.
Listen, wait. I wish I could play the game, but when we were watching it again, I'm like, okay, besides being Ned Stark, who dies? I don't want to be someone that dies. Who else could I be in the series that stays alive? And she's like, who knew? Brianna Tarth?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's alive, yeah.
Like, it's probably one of the only other characters that survives.
One of the few.
Because almost all the characters do get killed for one reason or another. Like,
Ninth, we're gonna get to that too, because you're gonna be mad what I think about Brienne. All right. Sorry, we'll start that.
Brienne.
Wow.
We'll talk about Brienne in a few minutes, but Harrenhal. So this is the castle that just pops up throughout the series. Technically, I believe it's the biggest castle in Westeros, but it's kind of a pain in the ass because nobody wants to run it because it's too big and it would make you just go broke to run it. So like people,
it's not haunted.
Huh? It's haunted.
It has bad luck.
People say
Bad
it's
luck.
cursed.
Yeah, I think it got destroyed at one point. That's why I want to see on House of Dragons if they show Harrenhal when it was like, the new house on the block with
There's a
all the
chance we
bells
might
and
see
whistles.
that.
The nice
Attack.
fridge.
I hope we see that attack. That'd be awesome.
Well, because in the House of Dragon, we know that the Great Council gathers here, right? That's where you see. So you do see it appear again in the House of the Dragon, which is cool that they're kind of pulling places that you're familiar with and dumping them here. Sarah, what do you want to say about this one?
I just want to know why it's like haunted and stuff. Like I want to see that story, like why nobody wants to touch it. So I'm hoping maybe they'll talk about it. I mean, I don't know how many seasons House of Dragon is going to be, and so I'm just
At least
hoping.
2 now.
True, 2.
Yeah. And then no, she's been picked up.
I'm looking at this Game of Thrones map, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, all right, you got the Kardashians, you got the Bidens, you got the Trumps.
The Kardashians.
The Kardashians have power, like Ninth said, they have the money, so they can influence, and influence goes
I would probably say who's richer than the Kardashians is Elon Musk or whatever was his name.
Elon Musk would be another one of them, yeah. Think about the banners that control our Westeros, our current day Westeros. Who would you tag on all these? The Kardashians are like the annoying.
Bezos.
Right? Bezos, yeah.
Bezos.
I was gonna say that
Amazon.
gray whatever. Who are the gray ones?
Huh?
The water people. Their shit.
Greyjoys?
Greyjoys.
Yeah,
Can't stand the Greyjoys. That would be the Kardashians.
Oh, that's Pike. There it is.
Oh yeah, Pike. That's where the Greyjoys live. Good segue. And then we have, so that's the stronghold of the House of Greyjoy, located on the island of the same name. And then River Run is the ancestral castle of the House Tully, which Tully didn't get a lot of I don't feel they got a lot of screen time. They got some, but mostly it was just their execution. No.
Isn't that where the Red Wedding happened?
Is that where the Red Wedding happened? Was River Run?
I think that happens at the Twins.
Oh, the twins?
But I'm not positive.
I think it was because they were trying to get through it, right?
Oh,
right.
yeah, that's right. Sorry. Oopsie
Hold on. We have a question. I thought the Hand of the King murdered the Mad King. No, Jaime Lannister
yeah.
murdered the Mad King. And at
And he's
that
part of
time,
the
it was.
Queen's Guard.
Yeah.
Because wasn't he called the Kingslayer? That was his nickname.
Yeah. That was his whole thing. Oh, there. Turtle Love's no, it was Jaime Lannister. It was the twins. Come on, guys. I know. There's a lot of names to remember. Ninja Turtle Tavo. Sorry. The twins. Yeah, they were trying to get passage through there. House Frey.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. So next up, we have Qarth, which is the trading city located on the southern coast of Essos. We only see this a little bit at the beginning when Daenerys is trying to make passage through. I don't really remember a whole lot of other parts with this. Do you guys?
Well, that's where her handmaiden betrays her, right?
No, that's
with the safe at the end.
no, that's Karth.
Oh, it's Karth.
Yeah, but we do see later when Tyrion escapes, we see him and Varys in Pentos. I think when they first get there before they go to Volantis.
Wait, are we talking about Pentos? I was talking
I
about Qarth.
Oh, my bad.
But
Yeah, that's
General,
what I thought too.
Yeah.
I was like, well, yeah, that's where they're safe.
I told you I
No,
wasn't
Jen.
a good talker.
It's okay.
Who am I?
Karth
Here's
is where
Jen.
they have that.
Is it Qarth? No, it's Qarth. No, Jen, it's Qarth.
But
Okay?
in Karth, isn't that where you see that cool spire with the guys who do magic?
Yeah. It's a really cool
I
little
know.
trading city.
Yeah, and I liked how they get kind of said in that episode that magic is closely tied to the dragons, and when they went away, it lessened, and when they came back, they're stronger now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Which one are we on? We're on Qarth. Ninth. Anything to add to this one?
No, all I remember was the Dothraki calling the people that lived in Qarth milkmen.
Milkman.
Only thing, milkmen, yeah, because a lot of them are people that live there are tall and pale.
That's Nice. Okay. No, that's something to remember from it, right? Isn't Karth where you see the tortured prisoners on the Rose? No. We'll get to that. That's Marine.
later.
I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Sarah, anything to add to Karth?
I just like all the places that she traveled, like it all like blended into me into like one like blob of a town. So yeah, I don't have any comments on it because it just to me like everything was just sand and pyramids with
Well, that's
with
important
the-
that you bring that up though, because they talk about that with seasons 1 through 4. You could go like episodes with her traveling, and that kind of gave you a really good insight to the size and the scale of Westeros. But in the last 5, 6, 7 seasons, they kind of rushed that where like she'd be like in one spot and the next she's in the next spot, and it was so like disorienting for a viewer because it really lost the opportunity for them to build. What?
They sped through it. They need to slow down. Like, I've only heard one other person say this, and like her and I were talking about the other day. Why, if you are exiting the series and you know there's so much more story to tell, and there's characters that got cut completely, right? Why not just hand it to somebody else and go, hey, we did these first 4 or 5 4 seasons, ready to move on. You take the reins, flesh out more characters, build on all the lore, take your time because he's not done yet. But instead of doing that and just giving it over to somebody else, they sped run through the rest of it, and it made it less, and it ruined their reputations.
It totally did, but they did that. I mean, with Harry Potter, they switched directors. I think Prisoner of Azkaban had a different director. Sorry, my camera's blurry. There we go. Ooh. Anyway, they switched directors. I know it sucks, man. None of my shirts fit right now. And I think that worked to an advantage but you have to really trust who you're handing the reins over to kind of follow through with what you were originally going with, or do better than you, which maybe that's what it was. It came down to a pride thing. They wanted to finish it up for themselves versus letting somebody else do it right.
Was it hubris? Hubris in Game of Thrones and the people who were involved, I think all kind of it all ties together.
What do you think, Ninth?
It's just, man, it's so much like it's so much like in this show. One thing that I'm trying not to say like, because Chad Cave said his head was going to explode if somebody says like again, but man, it's so much to remember. Like now I want to go back and watch all 8 of the seasons again because it's like so many little details that I forgot about. Now that we're going back over this stuff, my mind is starting to re-jog again and kind of thinking about, this stuff like at a deeper level is just mind-boggling,
So Chad Cave to vodka and me and to Nearing Nirvana because he like loves us. Like I feel like he likes us, right? Like I feel like the love.
Sorry, I'll try to say like so much too. I see it a lot.
No, you don't.
It's my transition word.
No, a stalwart when your brain's trying to catch up with what you want to say. Mine's right or right. We all have stalwarts, so it's all good. Chad, thank you so much. That was awesome of you. Lucy would cause the rebellion. Laura would declare war, and Jen would lurk in the background.
Probably.
So you think that's around? I would war.
I probably.
They all
wait. Where's the Maesters?
I think Lord of Brooklyn's comment is probably spot on.
This?
Where's the Maesters library?
Oh,
does anyone remember?
Oh, that really cool city. No, I don't remember. It all kind of starts to blur together,
right?
I feel like I would go there because can you imagine all the reading?
Is it the Citadel?
Where is the Citadel though?
The Citadel, yeah, but where is that?
But where?
In relation to Westeros. Paul knows everything. We need to have him just hop on the show. Paul's like,
okay, Paul, where is the Citadel located?
In regards to Westeros, and let's just say King's Landing, where is the Citadel in relation to King's Landing?
It's down the street. It's like to the left. You pass a couple apple carts.
We're gaining viewers here. We're at over 30, guys. So let's do a quick little dance. Ninth, you got to dance for him.
Oh yeah, because
Ninth.
there's no music. You just play music.
Air guitar.
Air guitar. All right, let's keep going. If you are just joining, guys, we are covering all of Westeros and beyond, kind of taking a deep dive into Game of Thrones. If you haven't seen it, I really, really hope you guys do. It's such a really complex story. Marine is where something in the chat was mentioning that they had all the children like pinged up along the posts on the way. Anyway,
crazy. That was like, it kind of reminded me like kind of a biblical sense. Like I've seen it like if you ever see Spartacus, you know, you're seeing like people crucified along the road. So that's what it kind of like associated that. It was a kind of a crazy scene, you know?
it was for Old Town in the southwest, due west of Dorne is where the Citadel is.
Nice.
And Ninja knew that too.
Hightower.
Hightowers.
Hightower we end up seeing in House of Dragons.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have here? Volantis, which is, again, just a city that you see pop up along the way. Pentos is where Daenerys and her brother end up kind of camping until she gets sold off to the Dothraki king.
Well, Drogo.
Yeah. Come on, Ninth. Even like you have to be like, dude, that guy's Khal Drogo.
Khal Drogo was a beast. I mean, the whole Dothraki people was a beast. That's probably like outside of like the House Stark. That's probably like one of my favorite entities from the show.
Really quickly, yeah, bring it in. The Venom. Anthony wants to do that's gonna be a pain in the ass to ship. Sorry, I don't mean that. We're more than happy to ship it. Anthony wants to give away, what is this? A Venom vinyl collectible that has like a little pop figure in it. Oh, sorry, but like.
Ooh.
So does this have a book in it, Ant? No. So what is it? What's that thing in the back?
Yeah, it's just like
it looks like it's a metal faceplate.
How cool.
I have 3 of these, and they're more appropriate.
No, we're gonna do this one. I already showed it. We're gonna give this away. So somebody at the end of the show will do a giveaway, and that'll be what you are winning. Compliments of our sponsors over at Bird City Comics. All right, so Dothraki. Let's talk a little bit about them. Laura says, "Give me more of that." I have to admit, like the Dothraki, I don't want to get too political here, but there's something incredibly cool about representing men as like, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. I should stop talking. Ninth, what do you think of the Dothraki?
Yeah, I was just saying that's like one of my favorite entities from the entire show.
Why?
Because they all ride around on freaking horseback. B, they all savages. C, I mean, they had Khal Drogo as they leader. I don't know. It was just like a cool entity in the show. They were kind of like just like ass kickers, you know. It really wasn't a lot of politics with them. They were just savages and ass kickers, you know, just plain and simple.
They did treat their women kind of shitty though.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, honestly, everybody back then, you know, treated they women crappy for the most part. It just was different.
Unless you're from Dorne.
Yes.
Dorne did a good job. Dorne, you could actually be a female and be the head of your house and not have to be a guy.
Really? Huh.
Dorne.
I didn't know that.
I like Dorne. Dorne's cool. I was really sad.
Dorne got a little cocky and got his ass kicked. Dorne should have simmered down and finished up before like celebrating, and then the mountain would have just like.
Was that Diego
Luna?
I
kept, during that fight, I was like,
Was that Diego Luna who played the dude? Diego Luna
from the Mandalorian.
Yeah, he's from Mandalorian.
Yeah. Andor.
Sarah, you've been anointed a hand.
Yeah.
Because I rule.
Dorne had completely different views on women and bastards. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think that they
Mhm.
they were just so powerful and everything was kind of simple. It was like you break these rules, you get your ass kicked, or you get your tongue ripped out, or whatever. And I kind of respect that. I think it's kind of interesting. Moving on before I get myself in trouble. The Wall is the fortification that stretches 300 miles along the northern border of the Kingdom of the North, separating the realm of the domain of the wildlings who live beyond. It's reported to be over 700 feet tall and made of solid ice. And obviously, this is where the Night's Watch operates, and Jon Snow eventually gets sent here. I'm going to call you guys Jit, Bren, Brit, Jet, Brit.
Jit.
Jit? Is that bad? Bren?
I don't like that. I don't like
Is that not?
that.
Look at 9. He's like, why did I come on this show? Jen / Brit. Anything to add to the wall?
The Starks helped. Who's the Stark? Starts with a B.
Brandon the Builder, I think.
Yes, was the Stark that helped build that wall.
And he built.
That was cool.
He built Winterfell too.
Winterfell.
Yep.
9th, what do you want to add about the
And-
wall?
I mean, I already said it. Winterfell is, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. And the Wall, man, man, that's easily one of the scariest places in all of Westeros. I mean, that's like the only thing separating, Winterfell from the wildlings and the freaking Night Walkers and all of that. It's just, like I said, scariest place in Westeros, in my opinion.
Really? You're on a wall. You're safe.
Mm-mm.
But the wall, you at the wall that
You
separates.
The White Walkers.
You're on the top. It's not like you're chilling on the bottom. Like, hi, White Walkers. Until they got the dragon, what were the White Walkers supposed to do?
That was like the place, it's like protecting, but
climb
it's
it.
like you on that's the front lines, bro. You know what I mean? That's the front lines.
Oh, all right.
It's cold.
That's like being in the foxhole.
Windy.
It's cold. That's Jen's argument. It's cold here. It's like it's 89 degrees right now.
Shut up.
No.
Winter is coming.
Winter's
It's cold. Yeah, Sarah.
Right.
Last winter it was -30. Was it not?
Yep.
-30. That's 9th. That's not even a thing. Where are you in Texas? There's no such thing as -30.
It can be
It's
negative
not
anything.
zero.
Once he hit 40, it's too cold for me.
Once it hits 70, it's too cold.
-30
anything
is
was-
your car won't start.
Right?
Your car
Won't start. I heard
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
It took me
Anything
3
below
tries that one
70
year
is
to get
negative 20.
Let's start in the garage. Let's like -30.
We're giving you guys combo names. Chat's working on it. Jet. Not bad.
I like Bren is okay, I guess.
Bryn. All right. Anyways. All right. Next up, we got the Godswoods. The Godswoods are very similar to what they sound like. Where are my notes on these? Sarah, tell us about them.
Oh, I have no clue. I wanted to talk about the wall because the wall for me like symbolizes where we live, and like I live in Wisconsin. It's cold. I'm near almost, I can drive like 8 hours to the Canadian border, like. But
Sarah, the Godswoods, you can go and worship. It's like a place of worship by those who carry on the traditions of the first men and pray to the old gods, which we'll get into that in a second, what the old gods are. But that's like, and these white trees that you see here, the weirwood.
The way we,
Right.
yeah.
Weirwood.
Or Weirwoods?
is that where that baby killer like lived too? You know what I'm talking about?
Further
No.
He was an inch of the wall. Yeah.
But they cut most of these down when the Andals came. The Andals went through and like would cut down all these religious. It kind of reminded me of Avatar. Remember when they knocked down that big shiny tree?
The blue people avatar.
Yeah.
There's 2 avatars.
Yeah, blue people avatar. When they cut down that tree, it kind of reminds me of this because they cut down all these religious sites. And obviously, the North still believes in the old gods, so they kept their sanctuary, so to speak, inside of Winterfell.
But it looks like in the new House of the Dragons, you see another weirwood tree
In
King's Landing. So I'm interested to see more about that. I hope they bring it up again.
Smart ass. Anyway. 9th, what do you think of this Godswood area? Do you remember parts of this that kind of like, I mean, for one, it's kind of where everything starts and ends.
Yeah, it took me a while to notice the first time I watched it that they had it in like several, that they had them in several different, locations like Winterfell and et cetera, et cetera. So that, that's like the little details that they put into the show that, you have to pay close attention to, because if you don't, like in that beginning, until they like throw it right in your face, like you can miss it. But that's why it's always worth it, in my opinion, to go back and watch TV shows, because especially the ones as detailed as Game of Thrones, is because you miss out. The little stuff that you miss out on is, that much more appealing next time around. When to look for it. And these trees is like, I know something that I overlooked the first time I watched Game of Thrones.
Can I ask you guys a question? And you have to show yes or no by raising your hand. When you watch shows, do you use subtitles? Really, Jen? So if you're watching,
I will only do subtitles when like Hajime no Ippo is like a boxing anime and the voices are better than the native. So then I'll do it because you have to know what they're talking about. But I won't do it like I don't like it.
Why? Like what Ninth's saying, you catch so much stuff that you miss the first time around if you have the subtitles up.
Oh no, I like just when I watch something, I am in it. Like I don't do other things while I'm watching something.
I highly recommend using subtitles at all times. Anthony used to hate them. And I told him, like, I'm not going to watch this unless we have subtitles. It could be like SpongeBob, and I want subtitles.
What?
Because you just
SpongeBob?
Yes, you miss so much. So look, we got 2 yes to subtitles, no to subtitles.
Yes, Glenn Howard. Yes, Glenn Howard.
This is a great example, though, when you have all these different names like Lord of the Rings, watch it with subtitles, and you're like, holy shit, I thought they were saying blah, blah, blah. But they were actually saying somebody's name.
Okay.
But you thought in
Metal
your head
Face
you heard.
Is right. If it's another language. Huh?
No,
in general.
So Metal Face is right. If it's another language, I'll do it.
When they talk like in whispers, like it'll pop up.
Yeah,
or like my favorite subtitles so far this year is if you watch Stranger Things, the new show, and it says like squish and like stuff. That's my favorite. Yeah, they like capture like the squish.
They did a good job.
They even do like the sound
I haven't
effects.
seen the Stranger Things this
Flop. Yeah. Anyways, let's see what else we have here. The Great Grass Sea. That's just where the Dothraki roam. I don't know if I'm saying it right anymore. The Kingswood is just private hunting lands, and that's obviously where Robert Baratheon got killed by a boar. And Beyond the Wall. So Beyond the Wall is outside of the realm. It's not under any control. And that's the part that kind of gets interesting as the show goes on, because they're exploring that area more, right? We have a lot of people here. This is cool. Guys, if you are here, 9th really. I'm reading your comments. You make me laugh. Okay. Serena Williams lost, and he's glad.
Aw, that sucks.
Serena, who'd she lose to?
I don't know.
I think Asia, somebody. I don't know, somebody from overseas.
No, we want America to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hands down. All right, that was our last slide about stuff. So now we got merch. Britt, do you want to explain what this is?
So the first 4 were all geographical. So I figured for the relevant merch slide for this one, we would just go with different maps and different merchandise items for that. So there's a puzzle up top. If you guys are interested, I can drop the links for this in the description, but if not, I probably won't. The rug I actually really like. I thought that was pretty cool, especially because in King's Landing, there's like a big map on the floor somewhere in the Red Keep. That's pretty cool. And then the one over on the right is just a poster. It was like $11. I didn't put the price on there, but it's supposed to look like a silk print.
I did so many puzzles during like the whole COVID lockdown thing. I got really into Thomas Kincaid puzzles, so I would 100%. Although that's a lot of blue.
That'd be so hard.
Blue piece, blue piece, blue piece. Yeah, like what would you do with that?
I love that rug. I love that rug. I would like to decorate my house in little nondescript items like that, like the rug, stuff that just doesn't scream, oh, this is geek culture, you know? Like you have to pay attention to it and realize, you know, what you're looking at.
Ninth, if I walked into your house and you have a Westeros and the Free Cities rug, I would be like, okay. That would be awesome. That's how you know who belongs in your house, if they recognize this.
I know, exactly. That's why I say it can't be obvious, because if you got a big poster of the Hulk up, everybody's gonna be like, hey, their mama know who the Hulk is. That's why you got to have those little subtleties, you know? Subtlety is key.
I like that. Subtlety is key. That's my motto.
I put this in my adventures. We have an adventures room. Britt and Jen know my house, and they've seen our house, and this would definitely go in that room. We have a couple pictures of knights. Here's a little nerd fact about me. I used to LARP, so we have foam swords. So
Wait, you used to what?
LARP?
I don't
action role play.
You did live action. I saw that in a show once. So you could dress up and go like beat people with swords. No, it wasn't Hawkeye. I think it was The Office.
You want to see my sword?
Is it the comedian one? It's the comedian one.
Wait, 1 second. I'll be right back. Keep
Jen,
talking.
can I come LARP at your house?
There's a
like,
comedy.
bam! Wait, is that how it works?
It was cool.
It was fun.
It was super cool.
We walked in and we were just surrounded by weaponry.
Are you allowed to? What happens if you go outside of like?
I would.
If we were supposed to be like in like role playing and I went outside of it, do you get kicked out?
Outside of what?
Like if Nine's all, hey, I gotta take this call real quick, and it's like, Nine, no cell phones, whack. Right?
You know, LARPers do not play, man. You gotta treat that like it's real life, bro. Like,
oh man.
All right, I grabbed Henry's sword and I grabbed my sword. Well, one of Henry's swords.
Okay, I'm putting you on the big screen because this is
See? So they're made out of foam. So you can hit people with it, but it's got a little...
Look how detailed.
Wow. I watched Hawkeye, but that's not what I'm thinking. Role models.
Yeah, role models, they had it too. And then there's like, this actually is from a replica of Lord of the Rings.
That's
an
elf
sword. And it's made out of foam. So
all right. Can you hit each other?
Yes. That's the purpose. You can hit. I don't know if you
is there a judge? It's like, okay, you're dead.
So what it is like if you get hit 3 times, you're dead. If you get hit like in your like torso, you're dead. So there's no it's all kind of like honor system kind of thing.
So I'd be alive till the end. I'm like, nobody hit me. I swear to God, like I haven't been hit once. No, if somebody hits me and nobody saw, I'm not gonna be like, I got hit. Who would do that?
I'd be like,
and they'll give you the site. I'll tell you where to go. There's all sorts of like I was telling Jen and Britt, like there's different kinds of LARPs. You can be like post-apocalyptic, you can be steampunk, and like some places they coincide with the weapons that what kind of LARP you're in. So like let's say you're in a Western, they'll have like, you know, guns and all sorts of stuff, bricks, wrenches.
Tell us about that one with the bus and the zombies.
Oh, that's not really a LARP. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. So yeah, there's a if you're in the Wisconsin area, it happens once a year. I don't know when, but basically they take this paintball site, and you're either a zombie or you're a human, and so like the humans are trying to survive, but you have like basically a horde of like running zombies trying to kill you. So you have to get like food to survive and all sorts of stuff. But you can use stuff like LARP weapons, and so I heard it's really fun. Haven't
All
tried
right,
it yet.
9th, I'm signing you up when we're in New York. We're gonna do a New York style LARP.
Let's go.
There you go.
And
There's some
first
hard.
of all, James, H&H, you're telling me that you guys, if you went like airsofting and you got hit, you'd be like, I'm out. I got hit.
I mean, it's
Right.
different because you're gonna have a big paintball stain on you,
Yeah.
right? So you really can't cheat the
Right.
system.
Yeah.
Watch
So
me.
I know never go LARPing and be against Laura because she's gonna cheat.
Right.
No, I'm just not gonna like volunteer. If the judge doesn't see it, it didn't happen. Look at the judgmental from the Starks. Whatever.
We just need to be on the same team, because if we're on opposite teams, I would be upset. If you're my team, then that's okay, I guess.
See that now you're thinking like a Lannister. All right, Britt, can you explain this freaking cluster of houses to my right here? Because again, if you guys have not seen Game of Thrones, or if you're Paul Holloway and we're like, I already knew this entire family tree by heart, yeah, dive in.
So this is the lineage of all of the recent, I guess, noble houses in the seven kingdoms and the Targaryens right on top of that. So you've got
House Arryn.
So you've got House Arryn, you've got House Tully, House Stark, the Baratheons are in there, House Targaryen, Lannister, Tyrell, and Martell. And then I posted their ancestral seats, most of them above them, so you can kind of see the castles that we talked about. I don't know how detailed you want me to get with this, Laura.
I was kind of.
I mean, a visual aid to reference.
All right, let's do it this way. Sarah, we'll start with you. Pick, if you get one player in the Game of Thrones, who's your player?
Oh, damn.
9th, you're coming up, so you might want to think about this.
One player that like gets me through.
One player that wins it.
One player that wins it.
Anthony's ordering. Look what you did, Sarah. Now he's gonna be a Witcher.
Whoa! You should get the wig.
You should be a Mandalorian, Jen.
Oh, I don't know. That's a really tough question. You know, I think I'd go with Arya.
Really? Okay, solid pick. I like that. Want to elaborate?
Because, you know, I thought was cool was, you know, in the beginning, she's not meek, but, you know, she's this tiny little girl, you know, but she wants to sword fight and she wants to do, you know, all this stuff. And then, you know, stuff happens and she ends up like finding her way in this world. And I mean, she gets so close to like killing, I can't remember who it was. I can't remember the name at the moment, but she just is, I mean, she just
the Hound.
The Hound, right. And I just love the fact that she just knows all the stuff that she's been doing, the reconnaissance of, you know, the Lannisters, where she's, you know, she goes and sees like, you know, Dad Lannister. She could have killed him there. She could have ended him. She didn't, because she just knows, she's just getting all this information and knowledge, you know, and putting these names in her book. I just think that she just if I would have wrote the series, I would have made her like this badass assassin, which she is, but she would go all the way to the top and just off Cersei.
All right, we're going to have the chat vote on this. So Sarah goes Arya. Britt.
Yeah, but I think so. Does it have to be somebody within the noble houses? Is that what we're
somebody on this screen?
Probably go with Dany.
Really?
Before the character assassinated her.
Yeah, but I mean, from a purely strategic standpoint, she's got it pretty much going on for the first like 5-6 seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like things are going her way.
She got 3 big dragons.
She's got 3.
So if you write out the madness part,
And did they only do it one time with her power of being in the fire?
Yeah.
I feel like if I was fireproof, I would use that all the time.
All the time. I would do.
All the time. I'd be like, we're going to do a siege. Fire dragons. Fire my path through. I'll just walk through like a reverse Moses. Because instead of the water, it is now fire, and I can just walk right through it.
Wait, do you choose an Aries too then, Jen?
No, I would pick Jon Snow.
Jon Snow.
Yeah, I love Jon Snow.
Okay, I respect your decision. 9th.
See, I was gonna pick Jon Snow, but I realized that that's the coward's way out. So I'm gonna go with Brandon Stark.
Oh,
I hate Brandon Stark. Ah, I hate Brandon Stark. Who's the other kid?
why Brandon Stark? 9th. You can't just say it then flex. You gotta like. Come on. What?
Because
why?
he was one of the most badasses in the entire show,
One of those he was like,
hands down.
I like
and he
Rickon.
didn't look. The
Rickon
boy
was
couldn't
cooler.
even walk.
oh, you mean Trojan?
Trojan. Who's Rickon?
The boy couldn't even walk,
No.
and he was a badass.
He needed Hodor, and Hodor had the worst death.
Yes, that was bro. That origin story for Hodor was epic. We don't get that without Brandon Stark.
No, true. All right, door.
all right. Well, you're all wrong. If you're gonna pick somebody on this
Tyrion?
list,
You'd pick Tyrion.
I would pick Tyrion. I think that he's overlooked. I think that he wants it more than anybody else. He's smarter than anybody else. He reads. I would pick Tyrion. I think Tyrion's, but not Tyrion in season 6, 7, 8. Tyrion in season 1, 2, 3, 4. I would pick him. And there you go. Dude couldn't even close a door. All right. Next up. All right. So main players again. This is my other pick, Elena. I think that between her, I wish her and Tywin Lannister would have gotten married and just taken over the world.
Oh no! The Queen of Thorns. The Queen of Thorns is a freaking BA. She don't need anybody.
So she could handle Tywin. She could put him in his place when he needs it.
I think this is the first time I've seen Jen act sassy.
I know. I got her all riled up. She's like doing hand motions and everything. Hello, Jonathan. What about you, 9th? Who on here?
Ooh, man, I gotta keep it in House Stark, man. I'm not going outside of House Stark. I refuse.
Because you're too loyal.
Yeah, I'm too loyal. So you saying just like one of them from the main players?
Yeah, the main players that you see, because the other one had like a lot of like outside players, but here's your main ones. You got, the Baratheons on the bottom with Stannis, and I forget.
Let's say, man, I'm gonna go with so tough, man. I'm gonna stay with my boy Brandon, man. He's I'm never turned.
Jen's gagging at your choice.
He was the most noble. He was the most noble of the Starks.
Yeah, but you could just leave him anywhere. You could just leave him. You could park him somewhere, and then that'd be it.
No, but he can hop into your mind, and you know what I'm saying? Like
Brandon drank his friend. He drank blood of his friend, who I think should have been the Three-Eyed Raven. And then he told Jon Snow that stuff because he knew how Jon was going to react. It's like, dude, he's happy for once. Let him be freaking
chestnut
happy.
checkers. Chestnut checkers.
Jen, you're up. Testify. This comment, testify.
I will say this: Jamie was nasty for nailing his sister, but he was really a noble dude deep down inside.
Until the very
What?
end.
How was he noble? He bailed on Brienne at the very end and was like, actually, I don't give a shit about anybody but my sister.
It was
so.
character assassination again. Danny and Jamie,
Yeah.
their arcs just went. They didn't even explain why Jamie did that.
But see, that was
They
one of
just-
the reasons why
yeah.
people said the end of the show was bad, because, like Jen said, character assassination. They had to write something in real quick to make you remember. Oh, but really deep down, they a jacked up person. You know what I'm saying? Even though the way it played out didn't make sense as far as the way that character story progressed. It was like all of a sudden, Jamie. Oh, let me go back to my shitty. To my crappy ways real quick, so people can hate me right before I die. Like
That was so weird too, because like, you know, they had that moment together, and then he's like, "I'm out," and she's like, "No," and he's like, "Nope, deuces," and then she writes about him in that book. Like it just was so like
They need to explain it.
Paul, explain it. If you don't understand why Jamie did it, you weren't paying attention. How did it make sense? Explain it to me.
right.
I want to know. Like you gotta tell me how that made sense, because it seemed like his entire story arc was about him being somebody that could redeem himself despite past transgressions, and then at the very end, it's like, nah, pass.
Like he wanted to redeem himself so bad, but his sister was his weak spot. That's why I
Achilles
said
heel.
if you take out the love for his sister, like he would have been a good guy.
It's that P, baby. That sweet sister P.
Oh my gosh. Who haven't chosen yet?
Me?
Sarah, you're up on that note.
I would go with Grandma Tyrell. Elena, she keeps it real through the whole. That's what I kind of liked about her, was that she really kept it real through the whole thing. You know, she is what she is. You know, she's. I mean, come on, people, right? Like, whatever. But yeah, so I would think that that's why I liked Olena, because I think she just kept it real through the whole thing. And then, like, at the end, she's like, guess what? Like, spoiler alert, I killed Joffrey. And I just love that moment where she was just like, heck, I know I'm going to die, but here, here's this, like, here's the truth of it all. And I just love that she's, out of all the kind of like snakes and politics throughout this whole series, she's the honest one.
Have you ever hated anybody more than you hated Joffrey?
Yes. Who
Who?
was happy to see a little boy die?
I was thrilled. I actually wish they would have made it a longer scene when he died. I was like, that's it, some poison. Like, give him something a little like.
Yeah, but also Cersei's death was super unsatisfying.
Right.
Right.
You have these villains, and it's like it wasn't as impactful as I feel like it should have been, because Joffrey was such a dick.
Hey, did he quit acting?
He got bullied, like insanely bullied, because of his role in that film.
Well,
kind of like Draco Malfoy.
Good job, right? You
He
did
did
a
such a
great
good
job.
job that he got like death threats. People hated him after
Didn't they,
doing that
make
role.
a statue of him and then like burn it or something?
Yeah, people got.
What?
Yeah, it was like a thing. Like for a while, he had him and Ramsay. Okay, that's a good one. Ramsay. Do you hate Ramsay or Joffrey more? Oh,
Ooh.
I mean, I
I
guess
think we had longer with Joffrey. We had longer, and also
Man, that's a tough one. I mean, Ramsay was a freaking bastard, man. To the 10th power.
Is it Rose?
I know, but if you had to be like stuck with one, I think I would choose Joffrey.
I think I would.
Yeah,
too.
Joffrey, because I could kick his ass. Ramsay, that we end up killing each other. But it come down to it, Joffrey, yeah. Take him out in a second.
He had Joffrey was so like, yeah, he was so tiny.
I'm glad we didn't get Roz, the prostitute from the north, Roz. I'm glad that we didn't see her death happen. That we just saw the after, because
That was bad enough, though.
yeah, that's true. With the bow.
Ooh, the bow. Joffrey was a child with no impulse control. Ramsay was an adult. Okay, I could see that too. 9th on Nearing Nirvana 2 nights in a row. That's a good look. I know. Maybe we'll keep him, right? Littlefinger is the worst. Littlefinger, like,
Littlefinger was. Oh, good lord.
But But Littlefinger helped sharpen the blade that is Sansa Stark.
True.
Mhm.
That's facts.
He did help her in some weird, twisted way, like when he got her out of the wedding. I mean, that was
teaching her all these things.
of
before the
helpful,
game.
right?
Yeah. See, Littlefinger was more like he was a bastard in a political sense. Like he knew how to play the game. You know what I'm saying? But like most people that know how to play the game or that are really good at something, they overextend themselves and they think, "Oh, I'm the smartest person in the room." Eventually, you overplay your hand and you get caught up.
Hubris.
All right, so here again, we have some more characters that, again, you could choose from if you wanted to. These are all strong characters that had their pros and cons to them.
Wait, we didn't include Podge. I like Podge.
We ran out of room for Pod. Tyrion's squire.
Yeah, we're like 20 slides in. Like, this is the best we could do. Oh, this chick on the bottom right-hand corner, I forget her real name in the show.
Wait, which
redhead?
one?
The redhead on the bottom left-hand corner.
Egret. Rose Leslie.
Yeah.
She marries Kit
Jon
Harington in
Snow.
real life, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of cute. And she's from Downton Abbey, if you guys watch that. Britt, good job again.
Oh, thank you.
It was tough. We ran out of time.
It could have easily been at least 5 more slides, but
Easily. All right, let's keep moving. All right, so more
Who did you guys pick?
What?
I like Podge. Pod. Podrick.
Wait, on this one?
No. So this is supposed to be the next one? Yes. So these are characters that like
are still important, but are not in any royal lineage or like
Well,
up for the throne theoretically.
You're not picking Brienne, Jen, because she's annoying.
I like Brienne. Oh, do you guys think we're gonna see the Red Lady in House of D?
Oh, maybe. Because she's super, super old, so it's possible she could be around as long as she's rocking that kick-ass like skincare treatment / necklace.
Mm-hmm.
She could do that. If you had to pick on the screen, I'm going with Khal Drogo.
For obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons,
Right.
You know what? I'm going with my boy Grey Worm, man.
Nice. I think
That's I would like to see like a backstory like about some of the characters that they didn't get like too deep into. You know, like Grey Worm for example. Like
Grey Worm goes kind of apeshit at the end, though. He's like right alongside Daenerys when he's like, "Let's kill everybody." Is that just because he's heartbroken?
Man, he tired of the BS. Like can't win for losing. You know, how would you like to live or half your life with your thing cut off? You know, then you finally find a lady that's willing to accept you with no thing, and she get knocked off. Nah, man, you gonna be ready to burn everything between here and hell, man. No,
This will be the part of the show I clip, Ninth. Thank you for that. Here's our advertisement for the show. You find a lady that loves you without your thing.
So Laura, why don't you like Brienne?
She's annoyingly loyal to Jaime. Like annoyingly. After a while,
loyal to everybody that she serves.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was annoyingly loyal to Renly too. She was annoyingly loyal to Catelyn.
Yeah.
Oh, Catelyn, why did she get her powers cut?
Wait, there's a slide for that.
Oh, sorry.
Oh. I guess maybe that's my issue. She's loyal to people without them like, oh my gosh, look at Mel. Here's his 2 cents. Fuck Joffrey. That's all Mel has to say. Wait, Jason Momoa is gonna be at NYCC? Is that true? Ninth, is that true?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the guest list for NYCC. I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, he
Let
has
me
a couple
check.
comic books from when he was in the one with the go through the portal. Stargate Atlantis. He has a couple comic books where he's got a picture of him on the photo cover.
That's fantastic. I did not know that. Why do you sound so excited? I don't. I'm not excited.
You gotta be like, yay, Jason Momoa.
No, because Anthony's gonna be there. That's what I'm really excited. Anyways, anything to add to this one, Sarah? What do you think?
I like, it's hard to pick from this screen because they're just all really good characters. But I think I would go with Viserys. Like, he just is, I liked his, kind of just being cunning, and, he too was just trying to make his way, like just trying to keep his head above water. And I just, kind of like the way the games that he played. He was very similar to Littlefinger.
But Varys actually cared about the kingdom. He was the only one that wanted to have the best people in place for the kingdom.
So that's like you in Friday Nerdvana, Jen.
No,
You're
that's
what?
Brit.
So, oh yeah. Yeah, she's the one that's behind the scenes just watching and making decisions and thumbnails
and with no thing.
No, what?
With no thing.
That's true. I do my magic without a thing. It's on the
True. Next up, here's some more merchandise. We talked about this, Jen. Do you remember like a while back?
I loved the beer King of the North. Delicious from Omegang. It's like a New York State brewery.
Ooh.
I bought I must have looked like an alcoholic with my cart full of like, because you only had like so many and then it was done. It was freaking delicious.
That sounds amazing. Now I'm jealous, but hold on, Britt, I'm gonna have you give us a little rundown of what you included here. Oh my gosh. Quick shout out to Heroes Reborn. He's wearing his birthday comics t-shirt. Yay. You are very welcome. Go ahead, Britt.
So the reason that this slide is placed directly after all the characters is because the only relevant merchandise to all of those characters is that they enjoy drinking.
Yeah.
So here we are. So Jen and I think, have tried all of these things at least once. The top left is a couple bottles of scotch. It was Johnny Walker's special Song of Ice and Fire line that they did. To the right is the one that Jen was just talking about, but this is the collector's set, which she got for Christmas one year. So it's got like, I think 4 different beers in it, in the big wine glasses and a chalice. And then the bottom, do you want to talk about that one? Because you keep pointing at it.
So the ones at the bottom are really cool because they go for each of the houses. So each of the house has different notes, and it's like a hard liquor. You can actually, if you're lucky enough to have a Binny's or any other liquor store that did have these, you can still find these sporadically, but they're not making them we went recently and we're like, hey, I'm making more for House of D. And they're like, what? And then he had to look it up and he's like, oh, these are cool. And I was like, do you have any? There's one that was $150.
Well, that full set now is going for a whopping, is that almost $1,900? So if you find all of them.
Yeah, the one on the far right, that's the black one. That's for the Night's Watch.
That's so freaking cool. Hey, Ann, are you still watching? I want this. It's only $1,899.
Oh, the one on the right-hand side, that bottle by itself
that's the wine.
It's the wine.
And that one's only like $20. So that one is probably the most achievable at the moment.
Ant is salty, 9th. He's all mad at me. I mean, Jason Momoa. He's like, I'll defend your honor and cut out anybody's tongues. And yeah. Anyways.
Well, he pulled out like here, right? Do some Drogo.
Because he like disrespected his moon. Yeah. All right. We have a couple more guys. So here's a little piece that Britt included, kind of about some of the myth and lore that gets kind of interwoven into Laura putting herself behind the comments. I am duty. That's totally right. I was totally doing that. Tell us about it, Britt.
So there's a lot of myth and lore in Game of Thrones. This was kind of a hard slide to consolidate, but I definitely wanted to include the dire wolves. I think they're kind of the main mythical being of the North, aside from maybe the children of the forest, which also somewhere down the line here. And then, of course, you have the dragons. So there's a House of D dragon up there, and then there's also Dany's dragons. In the center, you have the Night King, and then there's the Three-Eyed Raven and the Weirwood trees, which kind of cross over more into the god territory, I guess, or the omniscient, maybe you would call it.
We're
So,
getting
yeah.
called out because we didn't include Hodor.
We ran out of space. Oh, Hodor, because we ran out of space.
Hodor was on the side character with Asha.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. Where?
There he is.
In the middle.
Wait, this one? Oh yeah, there's Hodor. Boom. There's Hodor.
And the chick from Harry Potter.
It's so fun, guys. You ask a lot of me.
Well, we needed more space.
The tree was a place for them to worship, Mel. So like before, oh my gosh, Rachel Lee Cook is going to NYCC and she's all that. Thanks. And Harry Potter's going apparently too. That was part of the Godswood where they would worship the old gods, which was like basically very nature driven. So they believed that like the wind was the gods speaking to you and the rivers would have some sort of voice in their whatever. Who's your favorite dragon? I don't know. Ninth, who's your favorite dragon?
I really don't have one, man. I'm more of a dire wolf guy. So
All right, who's your favorite dire wolf?
Ghost, of course.
Okay. That's what Jen said in the last show. That's a good pick. It's a solid pick.
That's like a layup, man. Come on now. If I tell you I'm House of Stark all the way through. Because see, really, them dragons was some BS.
What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, first off, a dragon is just a janky dinosaur. Let's put that out there. Dragon is just a janky dinosaur. And that's the only thing the House of Targaryen that had going for them. You take them dragons away and they some bottom feeders all day.
But that's taking away a big thing. Like, what do the rest of them have that's better than dragons? You could take away something from anybody and it would be nothing.
The Starks still get down without the dire wolves.
Well, if you take away the honor from the Starks, then what are they?
But see, honor ain't something you can take away, and that's why the Starks is the best house in the whole damn show.
That was poetic. Maybe I'll clip that part.
Dude, and even the fact that Ned protected his sister's request was to protect Jon, right? And the only way to protect Jon is if no one knows who he is, I have to go home and tell my lady this is my son. And like it sucks because it like besmirched him a little bit. And the fact that we all believed it, right? Like that he was just Ned Stark's supposed to be a really honorable person. And like, well, how is Jon Snow a bastard if and then when we find out the true heritage, we're like, wow, so Ned really took one for the team to protect him.
I would just told my wife, dude. Just tell your wife, okay, hey, let's keep this between us. Like, I don't understand shows with that plot line where it causes all this turmoil that's so unnecessary if you would just confide in your soulmate. Just tell them the truth and you two keep it a secret between yourselves and move on with life. Why make it like this fucking horrible, miserable marriage that well, not miserable, but a marriage that's always overshadowed by that elephant in the room and make this kid feel like a bastard his whole life? Because Caitlin was mean to him. In the book, she was like,
to him too. She'd been much nicer.
Yeah, she would have been much nicer if she understood the situation.
I'll tell you what, the only time I liked the dragon on this show was when Viserion got turned into a white. That was the only time I liked the dragon on the show.
What?
That's the second time Jen's been like.
I was working at a comic convention, and I have not yet seen Game of Thrones at this point, and they had it on this big screen, and all the vendors got PO'd because they showed that scene, and I'm like, what's going on? And then I told Britt about it later, and she's like, you saw it? And I'm like, but I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know what's going. The dragon fell into the water and then came back out and now it's blowing blue fire.
But I had waited all this time to see this and she was just like, why did the dragon die from the whatever happened. And I was like, what do you mean?
I'm like, what is that? She got
You're like ruining it, Jen.
Right.
All right. Merchandise.
So,
We're
I didn't
moving
ruin
on.
it. The people. Okay.
This is kind of cool. Ninth Wonder, spoiler alert, this is your Christmas present from Bird City. You're getting a pack of dragon eggs.
Ornaments?
Ornaments. Britt,
As
what do we
long as
have?
I
So
can
there's-
crack
there's
them
three
open and
different
cook them,
things.
I'll be okay with that.
What? Sorry, Britt, go ahead.
No, you're fine. There's three different things with the dragon eggs. One of them is like the actual chest replica with the little like petrified ones as statues in there. The bottom one is a set of candles on the left-hand side, and then there are the Christmas ones, $45 for the set of three of them. So,
With the chalice.
and then there's a weirwood chalice, and if in the picture it doesn't show it, but I found another one where if you turn it around, it does have the crying tree face on it.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Very cool. Very nice. Guys, if you are just joining us, we're at about 40 viewers right now. Make sure that you are giving the show a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. We're talking Game of Thrones. We got to get moving here, though, because we're running a little bit late. Britt, do you want to give a brief, like the children of the forest are the non-human race that was here before the first men, correct?
Yeah.
Do you wanna
So the
elaborate?
children of the forest were there when I think the Andals, right, first come over, and
Yes,
they end up forming like a kind of symbiotic relationship with them over the course of so many years, and having a really good friendship for a while before they're ultimately it ends badly. So,
They make the White Walkers.
yeah.
As it always, right? It always ends badly in these things. They're evil bastards. Really? Well, maybe they're just defending their... Maybe.
But what?
All right, what else do we
But
have
then they
here?
could
Britt?
control the White Walkers. Okay.
The first men. There you go.
Yeah, first one. Sorry.
So on the
what
top,
else?
we have the women, the religious order. Yeah.
Yeah, I see y'all got
Okay,
my
go
boy Bran in there.
Yeah, but
Your ravens in the bottom right-hand corner representing you, Ninth. And then what are the other ones?
Okay, so there's the red woman. She's in the middle on the top. She is one of the servants of the Lord of Light. So we see her do a lot of like pyrotechnic magic
and that creepy
and pyromancy.
and
And
that creepy baby
yeah, she births that creepy
demon.
assassin baby or
weird
whatever.
kid.
Yeah, very strange. I didn't include it, but they sell her necklace online. It's like $10. It lights up in the middle if you want it.
It's cool.
It's pretty cool. Then to her right is the Jaqen Hagar, who we see with Arya a lot. He's one of the faceless men. So we learn a little bit about the lore of that. And then the House of the Undying Warlock is on there, as is Bran, who is a warg, or the Three-Eyed Raven. And then we do see here somebody's artistic impression of Lady Stoneheart, which is what Catelyn Stark is supposed to become in the books, and they never really touch on it.
They just cut it out.
So Laura, in particular, I wanted your opinion on that.
I feel like there was a lot of good things from the books that they should have included. Ninth, did you read the books?
No, I didn't. I started, but just that's just I had already watched the show, so it was kind of like, do I really want to go through with this? If I'm gonna tell you this, if I would have got into the books like when I was still like in high school and in college, I would have read all of them for sure because I used to read a lot of books back then. But by the time this came out, I was out of school, so it was just kind of like I just enjoyed the TV show because like the first 4 seasons, I wouldn't even watch Game of Thrones because I thought it was like some Lord of the Rings type of stuff, and I'm not into
It is
Lord of the Rings at all.
Super similar in the fact that like if you're not like taking notes, you can lose track really easy. And Paul's right. Like I feel like they took that part of it out because it would have really made the show so much longer And as we've already discussed, they already were cutting it short anyway. The audiobooks are fantastic. Ninth, you should listen to those while you're just like chilling.
Yeah, I probably will.
But
Sarah, go ahead, Jen.
isn't when you see her continue on as this other ghost type creature, isn't that when she like forgives and she's like, oh man, I like wronged Jon Snow?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
heard.
There's
So-
definitely a lot of character development there that they miss out on, which is unfortunate because I think Caitlin, like I was saying earlier, she is kind of a pain in the ass from what you see, but there's so many layers to her. At the end of the day, she's a mom. And when you're a mom, like you'll do crazy shit. Yeah. Well, what I mean, like, it's like the Lord of the Rings. What I mean by that is like, it's complicated in that same sense that you really have to be dedicated to paying attention to the verbiage. Sarah, did you read the books?
I didn't, but I had heard about, I think when they were starting to do season 8, I think that's what I heard about Lady Stoneheart, which I think would have been, I guess what you guys are saying, that it's a complicated storyline, but I think it would have been cool just to be like either just a small little nod to her, or they don't have to address it. I mean, there are Easter eggs, now put in all these different shows. If she could just walk past Jon Snow or just had some kind of moment, I think that would have been a really cool scene. But if it's more complicated, like we're talking, Lord of the Rings can be complicated. I'm still trying to figure that out. So I could see where it could get complicated with Game of Thrones as well.
Ninth, do you want to know something?
Yeah.
You sounded hesitant. Now I'm not going to tell you. Britt.
Go.
I met Emilia Clarke on a Zoom call. Yeah, we got to meet her because she was talking about her new mom book, and like she was so cute. She was so pretty and like just so I totally fangirled over her. And she was just
I can't blame you. I probably would have fanboyed over
I
her.
should have found that screenshot of you from way back when with her.
Do you have a screenshot of it? I'm all just staring at her. She has a giant bookcase behind her when we were talking.
You sent one to us a long time ago.
She said that her dad always told her never trust somebody who has a TV larger than their bookshelf, which I thought was interesting because if you look at her, she has like this huge shelf of books behind her, which made me like her more. So, anyways.
But all rich people got a bunch of books in their house.
That's true. We all do, right?
I don't think they really read them. It's just there like as a form of intimidation. It's my
damn, Ninth. That was cynical. They don't read their books. They just want me to make feel bad about not reading books.
Exactly.
Maybe. I mean, who's to say? All right. Who currently has the Valyrian seal? What, Jen?
Glenn Howard. Do comics count? Yes, they do.
Yeah. 100%. Oh, my person, she was all, hello, it's so nice to meet you all.
No.
Hello. And she like squinted forward and her little eyebrows. No more impersonation. Valyrian steel. So what do we know about this? Is a form of metal that was forged in the days of the mighty Valyrian freehold. Did you know that, Paul Holloway? When fashioned into bladed weapons, the steel can hold an especially keen edge, remaining sharp forever without honing, and it's one of two things, this and dragon glass, that can kill White Walkers. Boom. Paul Holloway.
I'm really sad that Ned's sword got melted down to make those other two swords.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it made it.
Cat's Paw was my favorite though.
Which one?
Cat's Paw. The one that Arya had like towards the end. Yeah, that. Yeah, because you can still like you can get up close on somebody and just boom, just pop them once and it's all over. You don't got to worry about trying to wield that heavy sword. Like if you quick and small and quick like she was, like it's the perfect weapon.
Oh, we gotta hurry. House of Stein's coming up next. Anything to add to this, girls?
I like Needle.
Needle is cool.
Yeah, the dagger's cool. And the bow, Egret's bow is cool.
Quick addition, you see one of the House of Dragons screenshots. He is holding Dark Sister, which is like a super ancestral Valyrian sword. It was wielded by like the initial conquerors of Westeros from the Targaryens. So if you want to look up Dark Sister, that's a really cool story.
Wait, Needle isn't Valyrian steel.
No, but needle's still cool. I mean, neither is Egret's bow or the ones the Dothraki have that. What's it called?
Those are just kind of like honorable mention weapons.
Yeah.
I like that. Honorable mention. All right, next up, what do we have here, Britt?
So this is actually ninth. This is a replica of the cat's paw, which you can be the proud owner of for only $479 or $650.
Ooh, I need
It
that.
is
I would carry that around on me. Like,
It's Damascus?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's kind of that like rippling effect in the steel. So
anytime you need to kill a Night King,
right.
there you go. That's not bad for like almost $500, you know? I have the weapon to kill whenever any Night King comes along.
Sarah, you can probably make a LARPing one for like $75.
Yeah, there probably is one out there.
I was just gonna ask, do you guys think it would be so cool to have like a Game of Thrones restaurant? Because those freaking pies that guy makes, oh my gosh, they look amazing. Yeah, we can all meet there. Yes, Laura, we'll all meet you. We'll have pie together. Awesome.
I
I don't
don't
know
know size. Oi.
Sarah will meet me. I don't know what this slide is, Britt, at all.
So this is all about the music. The guy in the top left corner is the composer for all of the music, as is it's the same guy behind the swords in the middle on the bottom. And his name is Jen. Can you read that? I'm too far away on the bottom left.
Raymond Dajawada?
Dawadi.
Yes.
Yeah.
That.
So
You were
he does
close.
most of the orchestral type stuff, and I believe he also did the Reigns of Castamere, which is one of the more haunting songs from the soundtracks.
That's the
Is
most
that-
terrifying house song ever.
Wait, is that when the White
The
Walker?
Lannister song?
Which one? Like,
The
is that when she
Lannister
blows
song.
up?
The Reigns of Castamere.
What?
It's the one during the Red Wedding.
Oh,
The Reigns of Castamere?
okay. Yeah, that's pretty rough.
It's the house song for the
I was thinking when
Lannisters.
Arya
It's
killed
super
the.
ominous.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of it. He did all of it, I thought.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Don't you think that like
And then
soundtracks
the
just
part-
make the movie? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Is there words to the Game of Thrones song? Because wasn't it the end of House of Dragons? Like they played the song and then all of a sudden like they're singing. So are there actual words? Or am I just dreaming?
There's no singing. Not that I can think
Yes.
of. Ninth, is there singing in the Game of Thrones songs?
I've never heard it.
Check the end of, I don't know if it's episode, it has to be episode 2 because that's what they brought in the beginning of the show was the Game of Thrones theme. But if you listen to it at the end, I swear they're singing.
Now
I
I have
don't
to
know
go and watch.
There's words?
What a badass though. This he's so young. That's very cool. What's Seven Devils All Around Me, Britt?
So in the second season trailer, when they're first starting to talk about the War of the Five Kings, there's a song that plays over the trailer, and it's by Florence and the Machine. It's Seven Devils.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
remember seeing it when I was young and first starting to get into the show, and it just gave me chills. I thought it was awesome. It was a perfect pairing. So I made Jen watch it very recently, and she was like, "Oh my god, it's Florence and the Machine." So I wanted to include it.
Very cool. Guys, if you are enjoying all these amazing slides that Britt put together, please give the show a thumbs up. We're at a little over 40 right now, so please do that and make sure you're subbed up. And if you're already subbed up, share us out to somebody else and see if they'll share or sub up too, because we're definitely still in our growing stage here. House of Dragon. I hate to admit this because I know it was homework for Tuesday, but I haven't watched it yet.
What?
I don't have HBO Max.
You
I already
haven't?
pay for Netflix. I pay for Disney Plus. I pay for Hulu. I am not going to pay for HBO Max.
Well, I use my brother's account.
Yeah.
Nice. Give me your passwords. I promise it'll be safe. Give me your logins.
It's so good, man. It's so good.
I want to watch it. I think Tim will get me them soon. We'll see. Kick her out. I know. I that is problematic considering that's what the show's about, right? Yeah. Well, the other three can hold the boat down here. Ninth, we'll start with you. Give us your take, and we'll go up the line on House of the Dragon.
I love it so far. I mean, like I was telling you before the show, I like the fact that they jumped right into the meat and bones of everything, whereas with the original Game of Thrones series, they didn't do that. But with House of Dragon, they got less to cover, so I think it's gonna make for a better show because they got less to set up. Whereas, with Game of Thrones, they were setting up so much, man, that it made the show drag on at certain points.
Okay. Bren? It's not catching him. It's not catching him.
So far, I like it. No. So far, I like it. It's a slow burn, though. It's not... It hasn't... I keep wanting to watch the next one. Like, now that I binged Game of Thrones and then had to watch it slowly the last season, it's the same. But now in this, I'm like, I have to wait another week? But it's slow burn. It's interesting. I hope we see a lot of stuff. What do you think so far?
Well, Britt, I want to know your take
it's
on like
been-
the costume design too.
On the what?
Costume design.
Costume design, set design.
I like the costume design. I like the costume design. I feel like it piggybacked a little bit off of the original, which makes sense. But like they kind of already had that set up. But I really like what they did with the set design because they mentioned multiple times the differences between the way the Targaryens decorated the throne room and the way that everybody thereafter did, and bringing in like the dragon skulls and more of the fire and just that kind of Targaryen symbolism has been pretty cool to see so far. Like seeing Valyrian's skull up there and really getting like the biggest dragon ever in perspective. That's been pretty neat.
Look at this joke. Look at like it made Game of Thrones drag on. Thanks, Nice. You like that? Ninja says, I can't wait for you guys to see what happens. How do you know what happens? Ninja Turtle Tavo.
Maybe they got the screeners?
Or they read the books.
Oh, yeah, the books.
I haven't read the book. Okay, that might be it. All right. Sarah,
But
what's
the books don't cover.
Ooh, refill. Go
The
ahead.
books don't cover all this time period.
Cover it in retrospect a little bit.
Fire and Blood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Fire and Blood the House of D?
Hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
I thought it did come out.
Yeah, but I don't think
Yeah,
it.
that's what
I
they're
don't
saying.
think it.
This is one of the only
Does it go
things
this far back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Fire
Fire and Blood.
I think it's Fire and Fire and Blood.
Fire and blood.
So Anthony's feeling a little left
Hey.
out, and he's gonna hop in.
Audiobooks.
For ninth.
Unless you
That
don't
might
want to
be
spoil.
That might be my thing this week.
Listening to audiobooks all week. All right. So speaking of which, if you want to catch up, Jen, why did we include this slide?
So I know we had this slide on Tuesday, but it's just to include if you guys are out there at like half price books, your local library or a bookstore, the Clash of the Kings, the top 3. It's kind of what we saw in Game of Thrones, and then same thing with Step Down. It's just the trade paperback for the comics.
Yes.
Hey, Aunt.
Hello.
Can I tell you guys something? He refuses to watch watch Game of Thrones. He won't do it.
Why?
I'm with Mel. Fuck dragons and magic.
I've tried to so many times.
You know what it is for you know what it is for me is that oh man, tiny violin time. I work all day, and when I sit down at night, I'm so behind on Game of Thrones. I've heard it all. Like I know I haven't seen it, but I'm so far behind. I've heard it all, so I have no desire to sit there and watch it and go, "Oh, that's what they were talking about." So I just can't bring myself to do it. I don't know. That's been my thing.
Brent,
But
how
it's
do
the
you-
little details that matter the most.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know if I care. Like honestly, at the end of the day, I'd rather watch cartoons. Rewatch Avatar: The Last Airbender series.
You said that on purpose because you know Jen's here.
Dude, Jen, I got the collector's box set in yesterday.
You did?
Oh yeah, I'll have to break it out for you. Ellie, I bought it for Ellie, and she's
We
like,
have to do a show about it.
"We'll do an unbox." Like it's a whole art thing. It's behind Laura, that bottom shelf in the bottom
should.
right hand corner. You can see it right behind her.
Oh. So
Anyway, off topic. But yeah, that's a whole art book for that show. But anyway, yeah.
Would you
everybody talks
read?
about
Would
it.
you read
On
the
that
trades?
note, though, Aunt,
Oh yeah.
Hey. Is that new?
so there's a World of Ice and Fire. This was a Christmas gift for me a few years ago, but if you want to read
Beautiful.
more about the universe, this is pretty cool.
That's a beautiful
Oh,
book.
it's got like
too.
a cool embossed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know what though? Would you guys say
It's one of
have
those
you
rich
guys read
people
the
books
books?
to keep on a shelf and never read.
Right.
Ninth.
Have you guys read the books? Anybody?
Told you.
Babe, Knight said that rich people keep books on their shelves just to intimidate you when you walk in.
I
You
believe it.
agree? You're like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
And so here's my dictionary and my thesaurus. Limited
You said
edition.
dictionary.
Hey, there's some here.
Yep. Some
If anybody knows if the books are better, I would download like the audiobooks and listen
The
to them
books
while
are
working.
better. Nicole,
You know what I'm saying? Like the Harry Potter books were way better than the movies.
Yeah.
we've been talking about audiobooks this entire time, actually, because we were trying to like find ways for people not to be so intimidated by like the verbiage of it and everything. So yeah, I think that'd be if Sarah says that you have to watch it, will you watch it?
No.
But see, I'm actually like kind of on Aunt's side because like my husband has watched it like 3 or 4 times. And this is like one that I just can't do it. Like there's just way too much. It's kind of like watching The Wire. Like, that's like 9 seasons of like heavy drama, but
Right.
but
I think I've already watched The Wire 3 times already.
right. See, but there's recap shows that you can watch. But yeah, that's actually I've skipped some of my seasons of Game of Thrones because it was just a little bit too heavy. But then I just watched recap shows and
Yeah, see, and that's why like I think I'm in the know on everything because I've seen like the recaps or the I like YouTube's when they do explained, like whatever this movie is explained, and I'm like, all right, so I know all the deets. Like that's how I knew what's the guy that you like, Laura? I'm skipping on his name right now. The little dude.
Jason Momoa.
No.
Tyrion.
That's how I knew
Tyrion?
Homeboy liked to get down. Boy's dirty, but he's smart.
The little dude.
A little dude.
But
All right.
I think Aunt would like Hot D because it's just you're starting from the beginning, like you're not.
That's a good call.
There you don't know nobody. If you've read the books, then yeah, but if you don't, you're kind of starting fresh because there's nobody from Game of Thrones really so far in this series. So, maybe give it a try, give it a spin.
I will start this one with Laura. That's what I was like. I put in the comments. I was being sarcastic, but I meant it, Laura. Like, you want HBO Max? Like, I don't know. I know this guy that can get you HBO Max.
No more memberships. I'm so overpaying. Guys, type in the word dragon if you want to be in the running for the. How would you describe this, Ann? I don't know what it is. Venom box?
I think you should do the other one.
Venom Funko Pop.
Wait, really? Do you want me to trade?
The other one was more like appropriate. It just cost more. So I think you were like that one.
What is it?
What is it? Where is it? I'm
Behind
not
What is
very-
it?
On the
I'm
shelf.
not- I can't. Wait, hold on. I'll get it. Hold on.
It's behind you on the shelf.
What is it?
I gave her 2 options and she just pointed to one random, but I don't think she looked at the other option. Because
What
like
is the
one of
other
them was like a collector book, and so like I'm holding a book. Yeah, that.
Oh,
You're
Once in
muted.
Future. That's cool.
You're muted.
You want to give this
You're
away?
muted.
Wow.
That's
It's a
cool.
collector's
That's-
edition. Once in Future, it's the skull with the crown. I was like, oh, this is more.
Nice. You can't participate. Dragon.
I participated.
Oh wait, I'm doing it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the collector's edition. Once in Future, it's in the box. It's got a sleeve on it. That's
It's
a.
sealed with like
I think it was
plastic.
$120 book.
I know. That's why I'm like, how? Okay. All right.
I got 4 of them, Laura. So you're good. Me and you got ours.
There you go. There's your giveaway because Anthony
There's
said
one
this
in
is
your
the-
collection. There's one in my collection, and then there was 2 more. And I was like, we can
This
give
is
one
like
of these away.
15 pounds.
That's gonna cost a lot to ship that thing.
Yeah. So guys, make sure you're typing the word dragon. We have.
What do you think, guys? This or the Venom?
Dragon. I mean, Once in Future. Once in Future.
Drag.
Dragon.
Dragon. All right, there you go. Dragon is the keyword. Yeah, that'll be our giveaway for tonight because Ant's our sponsor, so he gets to decide.
I like out of the 6 of us, 3 of us entered.
I know you guys have a pretty good chance.
I'm
here
gonna
of
answer
winning,
too.
So
Laura, if I answer and I win, do I get to pick who gets it?
sure, we can do it that way. I like that. While we're collecting those, what is this about, Britt?
So Jen included this in Tuesday's show if you want to learn more about the Targaryen dynasty. It is coming out October 25th, and it is $40 to $60 as a hardcover book, or you can get it on Kindle for $17.99 if you want to just flip through it digitally and read it and learn.
Very cool.
Or go to your local library and
Or
request it.
Go to your local library.
Yes. Agreed.
Someone earlier said that Jen's house would have the best library, I believe, in the comments.
Oh, it totally would. Yes. Guys, we have 29 entries. I'm going to give you another minute. Before we call it for the night, 9th, we're going to start with you. Where can everybody find you if they just love listening to your velvety voice?
You can catch me at 3875 Grand Sickle Lane. No, I'm just playing.
Is that your actual address? Did you just give it?
No, not even close to my address.
I'm gonna
You
show
can
up.
find me on Instagram at Ninth Wonder Comics. You can find me on YouTube, same thing, Ninth Wonder Comics. Every Wednesday, me and Aaron Yee and Dark Evolution Comics do cover picks. You can also find me on Drunken Chat. Just look around. I'm not hard to find. I'm a little bit everywhere.
Do you have any shows coming up, like Whatnot or anything?
Yeah, I have a big Whatnot sale this Sunday. Gonna have probably like 100 different variants that I'll be running Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Whatnot. So probably be on there from like 7 to 10 Central Standard Time. And then I got Drunken Chat tonight. And who knows where I'll be in between then.
There you go. So as long as you're following him on Instagram, guys, you'll have a nice little like roadmap to where he's stopping in. He'll be in NYCC as well. So make sure if you're out there, you stop by and say hi.
Yeah, and I'll probably be in Jen's next neck of the woods next weekend.
What for?
The 49ers play the Bears. So
Oh, I'm like, is there a con?
first game of the season, so super excited.
You.
Very cool. Jen, any sales coming up?
My sister is gonna come and spend the night, and we're gonna do a sale in September sometime.
It is September 23rd or 4th, I think.
Britt, will you post to the Instagram or to her Instagram when you guys are doing that so people know?
Yeah, it's at Wolf's Flea Market. It's at Allstate Arena
Oh,
in
that's right.
the Chicago area.
She wants to do. So my sister's coming to spend the weekend, and we're gonna sell at the flea market, and then we're gonna do a Whatnot sale also.
Yeah. So it'll be a double.
A double whammy. Nice. Okay, very cool. Anthony, do you have anything coming up?
Yes. I would like to drop art live on your show right now that nobody's seen yet.
Ooh.
I do this on Ninth Show all the time, Laura. I just don't tell you.
Yep.
You're muted again, my love.
Sorry. Let me draw this real quick, then you show me the art. I'll give you my screen. So here's the winner. I just clicked one time. I let go.
And Jen, if you need me to send you some books, you let me know.
Hold on. Did I see Big Remo's name in there?
People are gonna think we rigged this.
You can't rig what you just did. That's
I couldn't. I didn't have my hands on it.
There's no thing. You just hit go.
It just happened.
Hey, Jessica.
Jessica Courtney's
Jessica,
freaking lucky.
Jessica, this could be my Christmas gift. Putting it out there.
It's not rigged. I swear. She just wins a lot because she's our Jessica. She's like, what?
She's like, what?
She's lucky.
I would also like to personally vouch that Jess is a real person. So
Yeah.
I will throw myself out there. Jessica is a real person.
And
Yes.
Sarah has met her.
Yeah,
I have. Yep. She's real.
Congratulations,
Maybe she
Jess.
can come on
We'll
here
take
Friday.
care of you like we do. All right, Aunt, you want to reveal some art?
Okay, so guys, this month we are launching a new title. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Who remembers this game?
Everybody remembers
Yeah,
this game.
that's
This
the
is all
best
I
game
did
ever.
after school.
I think
So
that's before my time.
There is
Yes,
a
before your time. You had to have played this.
You've never played Mario Kart in general?
On Nintendo
Ever?
Switch, yeah.
Okay. Mario Kart, right? Nintendo 64 is when it got interesting. This is Mario Kart Gen 1 is 64. So there's a new title coming out from Mimish Comics, guys, and it's a horror themed theme park. Okay. This kid really, really wants to work there. So he goes to work there and he figures out that the mascots, the little devils and monsters walking around, they're really evil and they kill like guests that are there. Okay. So I thought it would be fun if we did a Mario Kart homage to this book, Dark Ride #1.
And do you know who we had do it? This is Trish Forster.
Mm-hmm.
This is dope.
Oh,
I like this a
hey.
lot.
Yeah, that's his Trish. She was like so
So-
nervous about it. She's like, I don't know if I can. I'm like, you can do this. You'll be fine. So she did this for us, and it's a landscape, which we don't usually do.
Yep.
But there you go.
This is going to be our first launch of September. I'm going to start planning it this week. It'll probably come out next Friday is what I'm thinking. We'll start doing promo on it, but limited to the 500 copies. I print the minimum. I'll probably limit it more for the launch so I can bring some to NYCC. So I'm thinking that, Laura, what do you think about only doing like 200 release? And we'll take the rest of them to the con. So guys, if you're listening right now, make sure you share this out. I'm thinking only 200 of them. And that's not very much. Those will be gone quick. So tag it, get on it. But this is the homage, and I freaking love this.
Nice.
She did such a
Yeah,
good
that's
job.
fire. Yeah, that came out really good. I remember when we were talking about this. It came
Yep.
out really, really good.
And I got the finish art. And yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on. Who's familiar with the app called Shortboxed?
Yep.
We all are.
That's all I'm going to say. That's it. Moving on.
No.
Sarah, you're up.
Ooh.
Thank you so much for showing that. And you guys, Bird City is definitely I don't want to say you're not the first person to do video game homages, but you
Can I say the way I
brought
said
back.
it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I did a lot of research before I brought video game homages back, guys. And I'm talking the last big earner for video game homages was 2015 and 2011. So I didn't originate it, but I definitely brought it back to life. I'm claiming that now.
You're doing a great job. When did these come out?
I'm thinking I'm going to set these release. I like to release my books on Fridays. So I'll probably start advertising it heavy next week, and then it'll come out that Friday.
I'm going to show it one more time. I think Trish killed it. She's such an amazing person and artist, and she spent so much time making this just kind of fit the way she wanted it. And I don't know, she did a really good
Yeah,
job.
she killed this one. You know what they say, though? Often imitated, never duplicated.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to know the lineup for November?
No.
You can't give away. You gonna give away?
I'm not
all
gonna
the news?
show anything else, but you guys just want to know what's coming, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, but
what?
don't show anything.
I won't. Okay.
Okay.
We got a book called 3 Keys coming out, and they got Mel and I were going back and forth about this. They've got a tiger character that looks just like Battle Beast. I got
Mhm.
Ivan Tal to do an MMA weigh-in homage to that. We got the 3 Keys. I got
Cool.
one with the Short Box app. I can't say too much. NYCC, we're gonna have 3 different exclusives. That's all I'm gonna say there. What else? And then in November, Laura, guess who I got to do plush number 1?
Who?
John Jang. He hit me back. He's in.
Nice.
I love him. I'm so
We're
down.
doing I Hate Fairyland, Vampirella versus Red Sonja, Ninja Funk. Ian and I are working on Ninja Funk concepts. And then a hidden gem. I won't say much else besides it's from Black Mask and it's going to be fun as hell.
You know what? I'm going to say it a little bit. Guys, go back and watch Cover Lovers, their last show this past week. Go to 1 hour and 46 minutes.
45.
45 minutes when Mike Murillo kind of like gives his opinion. Definitely worth listening to. And we appreciate
And message me what you think once you see it.
Yeah.
Cover Lovers, Team Nerd Herd, hour 45 minutes. Yes.
And let us know what you think. Sarah, do you have any shows or anything coming up?
The only shows that I have is right now is Comic Book Women every Tuesday. And I also want to give, a shout out to John Jang and Kyle Strom. They are both going to be appearing at, I think it's Dragon Con this weekend. So if you guys are there, go say hi. They're friends of the podcast. Really great guys. Jen and I and Jess, she's real. We both met John and Kyle. Super awesome guys. So you should stop by, maybe buy a print or a comic, or just say hi and, give love to your artists and your writers. So.
Oh, there's Geek Driven. There you go. Yeah, Sarah, well said. And follow Team Nerd Herd. Yeah. Just follow Team Nerd Herd. I think
don't get enough love for what they do. Like,
I don't get how they're not getting thousands of views, and
I went and watched that show and I'm like looking at it and I'm like, seriously, like you guys need to go check out what Nerd Herd does for real. And don't forget, like you already said it, but even Knights of Wonderstro, go watch it all the time, but especially when I'm on. Because I always win.
Wait, Mike, aren't you having Zeus Comics Queen on?
Yeah, I am this Wednesday.
Yeah, you got to go to that one. I hear she's amazing. She has a ton of followers. Like she's definitely a player in the comic book community. So you should be.
I mean, most of them.
But I'm gonna tell you the craziest thing about that.
What?
So I hit people up and ask them to come on the show. Like I've hit people up with like 400 followers. Hey, you want to come on the show? Get left on red. I met her at SDCC. First thing was, I was looking for one of the Jim Lee backpacks, and she was like, "Oh, we'll send you one from Shortbox." Boom, get it. So I'm like, "Hey, would you want to come on Cover Picks?" Yeah, sure. Set it up. Like people, like I know that I've been knowing people supposed to be friends with, like leave me hanging on coming on Cover Picks. A person with like a way bigger following, ask her one time, sure, no problem. That's just the way things go, man. The way things go.
That's a lot about her character.
Yeah, that says a lot about her character because she, I'm pretty sure she got better things that she could be doing with her time. So I was really, really humbled that she decided to come on the show and didn't make me wait long at all to do it. It was kind of almost like right away type of thing. It was more so I wanted to take a couple of weeks to kind of promote her coming on to the show, but yeah, pretty. But you know what? I'm lying, y'all. When I asked Laura to come on Cover Picks and the girls from Friday Nerdvana, they did it. They the original women, the first women ever, besides Ant, to come on to Cover Picks.
Don't make me go get my draft glasses, bro.
But you know what, y'all? Ant did come up with a way for us to score the show. So I got some stuff coming to implement.
I feel like that's always been a part. Like, who wins?
I do.
Yeah, and figured it out. So we're gonna have the Orolo scoring system. You
sound like my football coach.
Did you say Orolo?
Orolo.
It's
What
like
is it?
tortillas.
It's
Tortilla.
Arroyo. But that's
Arroyo.
all right. It's all right.
Arroyo.
Ugh, I just gotta
Arroyo.
chill.
The Arroyo scoring system.
There you go.
You know, so
Sarah's
pretty
wearing a Frida shirt.
pretty excited stuff coming up.
Yeah.
You
We
get
gonna
it, girl,
should
with
have
that
a belt.
Frida
Should
collar.
have a belt in sooner or later. So Ant will have to look at the belt, you know, on me every week because he never wins.
That's
You don't
all
even.
right.
You better not buy a trophy because it'll be here all the time.
All right,
If
you
Laura,
two.
maybe if Laura comes on the show and cheat,
I didn't
see
cheat.
that.
I bought Jen's life. Okay. I
Wait,
bought Jen's
Laura,
lifeline. Did
you
you,
didn't
forget your
buy-
package,
Laura.
Jen?
Cheat. You cheated.
No, I didn't. I sent it to your parents' house.
Yeah,
No.
I haven't seen them in a little bit. I gotta go see them.
Okay, I told Jen I'll buy you a book if you give me your
That's called bribery.
which is not cheating. Britt?
Anyway, Laura, I am starving. Do your show, Britt. I am so happy to see you on because you're always behind the scenes. It's like a hand that's like in the corner. Like, oh,
Yeah, that's me.
I'm so happy you're on. That's awesome, Sarah. It's great to see you all the time. Laura, I'm about to cook without you. I got some chorizo and eggs. I'm about to go.
All
make
right.
I'm out.
I'm coming. All right, guys, have a great night. We are out. Thanks again, Ninth and Sarah, for joining us. Britt, you're welcome every single time because we love you. We'll see you guys on Tuesday.
I knew it.